guys, so today I'm gonna be making a video that's gonna be a review for the first sort of 1500 miles with this car. It'll take over some of the features of the car, good things, good experiences, and some of the bad experiences that come along with it. So without further ado, the first thing that I wanted to go over was the heel assist. So as you guys know, I'm driving a manual version, and so if you come from an automatic background and you don't have so much experience and you're sort of concerned of making the switch to manual transmission, which I completely recommend, you have so much more control. Heel assist is one of the features that the car comes with, and if you can see on the dash, there's like a car on a green slope. What that basically means is if you put your car in first gear, if you're in a slope, typically older cars would sort of start moving backwards, right, because of the slope. But in this case, you can just put it in first gear, remove the brake, and the car will literally hold itself upward for a couple seconds until you start engaging to first gear. I'm gonna do that again so you can take a look. All right, so I'm gonna put it in first gear. I'm gonna release the brakes. Car's not moving. Now it's starting to move, so it gives you like a good 1 to 2 seconds for you to slowly disengage the clutch so that you can get the car moving on slope. So that's a plus. All right, you guys, so now I'm gonna talk about the seats of the car. Let me turn it off real quick. Something very important and underrated is the seat bolstering. So basically, if you take a look at this is the premium version. So the seats, you can see they have lateral supports. This has proven to be extremely useful when you're taking steady state corners. You have a lot of support when you're moving all around the car, and this is critical. Like, the seats are made for performance, but one thing that I have to add is that these seats are really comfortable. Like, I've been on long drives with the car and I haven't really experienced any sort of back pain or like butt aches or whatever. So honestly, seats are solid, they feel great, and they're great for tracking the car. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the mileage. What are the miles per gallon on this car? And of course, this is a two-dimensional question because you have miles per gallon city and you have miles per gallon highway, and they're two completely different stories. So let's talk about the city first. So right now I'm averaging 23.1 miles per gallon, and I honestly use this car more for short distances like urban areas, and the minimum usage is based off on highway. So I would rely on my 23.1 more for city, but I'd say city's more around 20 to 22 miles per gallon at best, right? Now, as for highway, I can consistently pull about 30 to 33 miles per gallon, depending, of course, on many factors, but averaging between 30 to 33 miles per gallon. So it's really good. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the grip and the balance of the car. So I pulled out the G meter in the car so you can have a reference. Honestly, the grip is my favorite thing about this car. It's not power, it's not the looks, it's the actual grip, the actual feeling of the car, how grounded it feels, how well balanced it feels around a corner. It gives you a ton of confidence to push the car more and more and more, and I love that about a car. That predictability, it definitely brings that predictability to the table. Alright, so moving on to rev matching. The ergonomics of the brake pedal and the throttle pedal are not quite made for flat shoes to, you know, comfortably rev match, you know, consistently. At least I haven't felt confident doing it consistently with flat shoes. For some reason with, you know, normal sneakers, I don't have any problem doing rev matching, but with actual racing shoes, not a good idea. And my theory is the following. So if you actually take a look at the, let me see if I can park real quick so you guys can take a look. So if you actually go ahead and take a look at the position, I'm gonna put the camera down there. If you take a look at the position of the brake pedal versus the throttle pedal, you can see that the throttle pedal, it's, you know, like way deeper relative to the brake pedal. So, you know, sometimes when you're braking and you're trying to blip the gas, it feels like the throttle is a bit out of reach. So, I mean, I know there are some out of aftermarket throttle pedals that you can replace it with, but yeah, that's something that I definitely don't like from the OEM throttle and brake pedals. All right, so moving on to the shifter. So the shifter in this car is, in simple words, it's amazing. It's super short, crisp, and straight to the point. You know, I come from, as I mentioned before, Lancer ES, and the experience is just, you know, on another level. The throws are relatively short. They're very crisp. They're very, you know, satisfying to the driver. You see, it's like very clicky and it feels solid. You know, it feels like quality sort of shifter, right? One thing I really don't like so much though is the clutch itself. The clutch is kind of strange when you're trying to figure out the bite point for the engagement. Sometimes it feels difficult to be consistent, and I think it has to do something with the OEM spring, the mechanical advantage spring that is attached to the clutch. It sort of provides a fake feel to the driver that is just deceiving. I've read in some forums that people are actually removing that spring, and it makes the force in the clutch more consistent, you know, and you can feel that bite point of the clutch. So I might be doing that in the future. All right, you guys, so this is another issue given the ride height of the car, and this is the stock ride height. I haven't made any changes to the car yet regarding suspension. Here you can see that things are not designed for this type of car. I mean, this is extremely high. I really can't even reach, and I actually just parallel park right next to it. You see, like, it's definitely a struggle, and that it's basically, you know, that these cars are standard below, you know, the average height of a normal sedan or an SUV. So yeah, you sort of have to deal with it. I mean, you're not gonna face that situation, or at least I don't think you'll face that situation many times, but when you do have to face it, it is annoying. Definitely have to. All right, so another important factor, so if you notice, the front window of the car is very aggressive. You know, it has a really aggressive angle, and you know, the reason is to sort of try to minimize the frontal area of the car for, you know, aerodynamic purposes, and trying to keep the rooftop relatively low to the ground to reduce the center of gravity for performance purposes. But you know, if you're, for example, if you're at a stoplight, well, if you're just at a normal traffic light, sometimes you will struggle to even see the traffic light because it is so high relative to your, you know, field of view that you really can't see it. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.